Hi, my name's Mike Packer and I'm out at a place near Mangere in Auckland, New Zealand called the Stonefields. And this is a significant site. It's significant for historic reasons, obviously, because there was a Maori settlement here, and it was significant because of the white farmers that settled it, etc. But no one really cares too much about that. What is significant is that 500 houses are planned to be built on the ridge behind me in a accelerated housing development to cater for the 1,250 new immigrants that arrive in Auckland every week from around the world looking for a home. And where does that leave us? That leaves us with 33 hectares of land they're going to take in the initial bite, and they'll be 2 to 3 stories high density, and it'll be a complete anomaly around this area as to how it's being developed. And a group called Soul came along and they tried to persuade the council and the government and the developer this isn't a good idea. That wasn't successful, to cut a long story short. So we're up to today. Today there's a hearing on the first week of February about the consent going through. Fletcher Living or Fletcher Housing have done a pretty good job on sliding the resource consent through without being noticed, and they've pretty much got it as a slam dunk deal. What's my point? My point is that this heritage site needs to be protected, but not just the site, the surrounding areas. And that 33 hectares or 330,000 square metres needs to be rescued. And there needs to be a campaign and a project put together that motivates and excites people to participate. Now, it's rumoured that the purchase price was around 19 to 20 mil for Fletcher's to get that site over there, but it's subject to the resource consent, obviously. And the Minister, Nick Smith of Housing in New Zealand, he really says he doesn't have the authority to act on it or change it, and the Prime Minister probably can if he wished he could. And Len Brown, the Mayor of Auckland currently, basically doesn't seem terribly excited intervening, and a few of the councillors that are up for re-election this year are making a bit of a bubble about it, but they only got about 4,000 people on their petition to sign it, so it's not significant enough to roll a MP or a councillor. So how do you make it significant and painful? Because I have a theory about life, it's called no gaff. No one gives a fuck about anything unless they're personally involved in it. And how do you motivate the most apathetic community I've ever lived in, which is Aucklanders? They call them Jaffers down south, just another fucking Aucklander. And how do you get the non-Jaffers involved so that they'll feel motivated? And above all, why? Well, let me tell you, this is like the moors in England where you can go out and walk. You're in Auckland, but it's one of the few areas that the public still have access to it, uncontained and unrestrained by some bourgeois trust that manages it on behalf of DOC or the council. Then they make it their playground and push everybody off. So I got an idea. It's very simple. Let's create a live aid project for purchasing the land and persuading the council and the government and the developer that another block just over here, which has also been earmarked, could be the alternative to this one. And this would create an unbelievable facility. People can come and stroll. It's like, you go to the Commons in England and London, you can walk for kilometres around it on these beautiful fields, and this place is far more beautiful than that, far more therapeutic, far more healing, far more capable of reducing the risk of diabetes and heart disease and having a stroke in myself and my high blood pressure. So, where do we go? Let's wrap this up. Let's agree that we are going to auction off every square metre over there for $100. And when we get enough money, we can give the existing landowner the settlement price that they've agreed to. Let's agree that we can persuade the council and the government to let Fletchers have this other block. And let's agree that we're going to put on a concert here and get along some stars to show our appreciation and support that we need while we conduct the auctions for these people so that they can not purchase but acquire the rights to use their 1 metre. An individual can only own 1 metre. I want to do this. I want to do a phenomenal campaign and bring the country together to actually save something and protect it, because all around this country, the parks, the national parks, the council areas are being encroached and become unrecreational, unenjoyable. There's so many rules and regulations. And I think it's time the people own something themselves where they can say to the council, hey, this is our bit, piss off. Join me. Let me know your thoughts, your support. It's pretty simple. Knock up an auction site so people can get their 1 metre, and then they get their ticket to come to the concert. There will obviously be a series of concerts, and this whole thing can bring this community together on a cause that will be celebrated for centuries to come about why they did it and how important it now is. And above all, this area will be like it has been always, and not some tacky, high density, no backyard building development. Thanks.